Hello everybody. Today's video is covering on your homework exercise 5A, 5B, 6A and 6C. This homework covered on the topic of expansion of algebraic expressions and it is within chapters 5 and 6. Do take note that this video will only cover common problems encountered by most students. The detailed work solutions could be found in Google Classroom. Do also take note that before continuing with the video, you should have number 1, look through the marked work that has been returned to you on Google Classroom, as well as transfer the marking to your hard-copied version. In summary on the skills of expansion, we have covered the distributive law, which is also known as the rainbow method, as well as the special identities. The use of the distributive law is covered in exercise 5A, 5B, and 6A, whereas the application of special identities is covered in exercise 6C. On this slide, we see a summary of the different expansion methods. On the left, we have the rainbow method, and on the right, we have the application of the special identities. I will not dwell on to how this come about. If you forgot about it already, you may go back to SLS and refer to the lesson videos. We will now take a look at the questions covered in your homework. Let us first take a look at exercise 5A question 5D, where we want to expand and simplify 4D times 3D minus 2 minus 2D times 1 minus 2D. So what we will first do is that, given this question, we will apply our rainbow method in this manner, where we take 4D to multiply 3D and 4D to multiply with 2. So we will be getting 12D squared minus away 8D. Okay, do be very careful that in the next part, we are looking at minus 2D, and when we multiply in using our rainbow method, we will be getting minus 2D, because minus 2D times 1 gives us minus 2D, and then minus 2D times minus 2D again, so minus minus becomes a plus, and we will get plus 4D squared. Then we can rearrange the terms according to the like terms, and we will achieve this. So 12D squared plus 4D squared will be equals to 16D squared. And I want you to take special attention to minus 8D minus 2D. Many of you gave me your answer as minus 6D, which is incorrect. Okay, it should actually be minus 10D. So do be very careful about your calculation. So let us take a look at question 3b, where we want to expand and simplify b squared minus b minus 5 times b plus 4. So what we need to do is that, let me change my color of the pen. So when we're given b squared minus b minus 5, b plus 4, we will do our rainbow method, and we have b times b and b plus 4. So we will get b squared, and then after that plus 4b, followed by, when I do the rainbow for minus 5 to b and minus 5 to plus 4, I will be getting minus 5b minus 20. However, many of you forgot about the fact that there is this minus sign outside here, which will influence the accuracy of your answer at the end. So what we must do is that, because when we are doing expansion, we were only focusing on the bracket portion. We have ignored the b squared and the minus on the left. So what we must do is to put in brackets over here. Okay, then it will actually cause the operations inside the brackets to change when we open up. So we will have b squared minus 4b plus 5b plus 20. The reason for this is because of the minus sign in front. Okay, then now we will simplify. So b squared minus b squared is nothing, and minus 4b plus 5b, we are left with a positive 1b, and then the answer will be B plus 20. For question 4D, in expanding and simplifying this question, the common mistake that applied in question 3B happened, okay, and the reason is because of the minus sign outside here, okay. So the same thing must still apply when we do our expansion for this question. We need to put in the brackets because we are focusing only on that section of expansion. Okay, so 3D minus 1 times 2D minus 3, when we do our rainbow, we will have 6D squared minus away 9D minus 2D plus 3. Okay, I will not put in the rainbow. I hope that you can follow how I get this answer. Then after that, for 4D plus 1 times D plus 1, I will have 4D squared plus 4D plus D plus 1. So when I actually open up the brackets, I would have 6D squared minus 9D minus 2D plus 3. Due to the minus sign outside here, I will have minus 4D squared minus 4D minus D minus 1. Then I rearrange the terms so that I can simplify easily. And then finally, I will get the answer 2D squared minus away 8D. Sorry, I meant 16D plus 2. Okay, and this would be the answer. In case you couldn't follow on how the rainbow actually worked, so 3D times 2D, 3D times minus 3, I would have gotten this. And then after that, minus 1 times 2D, minus 1 times minus 3, I will got this. Okay, then 4D times D, and 4D times 1, 1 times D, and 1 times 1. Okay. Now let's take a look at question 6D. So same problem also arises in this question. I hope that you can try it yourself, okay, by pausing this video, and then after that you can check your answer. Otherwise, let me just explain over here. So with this minus sign over here, when we do our expansion, we have 3k times 6k minus h minus k times h plus 7k. Right? So we do our rainbow, so 3k times 6k, I will get 18k squared. 3k times minus h, I will get minus 3kh. Then after that, with this minus sign here, alright, you need not actually put in the brackets. What we can observe is that, okay, this is actually an entire minus k. So minus k times h itself, I will get minus kh. Then minus k times plus 7k, I will get minus 7k squared. Okay, so likewise, we rearrange the terms. And then after that, we will get answer 11k squared minus 4kh. Alright. Now for question 7b, okay, this one there are many careless mistakes from a number of you. So when we have 4x squared minus 1 times 2x plus 1, when I multiply 4x squared with 2x, okay, because there's a x squared times x, I should actually be getting 8x cubed. Right? So some of you gave me 8x squared, which isn't correct. Then after that, we do our usual rainbow method. I will continue to get plus 4x squared minus 2x minus 1. Okay, and the rainbow, and this is a result of the rainbow being done in this manner. Right? So we see that this is the x cubed term, this is the x squared, this is the x, and this is don't have x at all. So there's no way for us to continue simplifying. So this will be the final answer. Now for question 8 over here, right, we are given somewhat like a problem sum. We are told that the rectangle has a length of 3x plus 5 and then after that the breadth is 2x minus 1. So some of you drew a very helpful diagram to illustrate and understand the question. So that is actually good habit. We want to find the expression for the area of the rectangle. Okay, surprisingly, some of you forgot what is considered the area. So area will be length times breadth. So area of rectangle is actually equals to the length, which is 3x plus 5, and the breadth is 2x minus 1. Okay, so when we get this, we can expand it, all right, using our rainbow method, and then we will get 6x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 5. Okay, then we can simplify, we get 6x squared. Now minus 3x plus 10x, okay, that will give us plus 7x. I hope you're not thinking about minus 13x, right? That isn't correct. Okay, so please be careful about that. Final answer will be 6x squared plus 7x minus 5, okay, in cm squared, right? Because you're looking for the area. Now taking a look at question 9a for exercise 6a, we have expand and simplify x plus y times 2x plus y plus x minus y times 2x minus y. So to actually expand and simplify this, we will also do our rainbow method. So I noticed that for some of you, when the question got longer, confusion seems to arise. Okay, so since we're dealing with the first pair of brackets, we'll put in our bracket here and then the bracket here. So it matches and corresponds. Okay, so we will have 2x squared when we do our rainbow method plus xy plus 2xy. Okay, don't have enough space. Let me erase this. All right, then plus y squared. Okay, then we have another set of brackets. So we have 2x squared minus xy minus 2xy plus y squared. Right, so this is the result of our rainbow method. Then now we open up the brackets. Okay, we remove them. So because this is a plus over here, it has no effect onto the operations found inside the bracket here. Okay, so what we will need to do is to just copy. All right, then after that we can simplify. So you may want to group the terms according to like terms, and we have 2x squared plus 2x squared plus xy plus 2xy minus xy minus 2xy plus y squared plus y squared. So we will get the answer 4x squared followed by plus 2y squared. Okay, so actually the things in between that involves all the xy, right, they actually cancel each other out. Alright, so the answer will be 4x squared plus 2y squared. Okay, for question 10 in exercise 6a, I noticed that it is a problem for a number of you. Okay, seems like when the question is a bit longer, you struggle with doing expanding. I'm not sure whether is it a struggle or some of you are just plain lazy in trying to get it working. Okay, but regardless of the case, I do see some attempts from some of you. So some of you attempted it in doing by parts. Okay, so you looked at doing the expansion of this first, and then doing the expansion of this. Then after that, we add them up together because the question asks for the sum. Okay, but actually to simplify the process, we can combine everything together. Okay, and that is by having 4p plus 3q times 5p minus 2q plus, okay, the entire thing of negative half times 3q minus 4p times 6p plus 4q. Alright, then after that we do our rainbow method. So for the very first section here, we have 4p times 5p, that will give me 20p squared. 4p times minus 2q, I will get minus 8pq. Alright, don't have much space, let me erase this bracket. And I will then have plus 15pq because of 3q times 5p, and then this plus 3q times minus 2q, I will get minus 6q squared. Alright, then after that we have this plus then minus half. Okay, I can simplify the writing to be plus minus, we know it's going to give me a minus, so I can write it as minus half times 3q minus 4p and 6p plus 4q. Right? By the way, I also noticed that some of you got yourself a bit confused in P and Q. Sometimes you write P, then suddenly you wrote it into Q. That's a bit scary. Okay, so please be very careful. All right. So moving on. Okay, 20p squared. All right, minus 8pq plus 15pq. We can simplify that first. We get 7pq minus 6q squared. Then after that, we do the expansion of 3q minus 4p and 6p plus 4q. So the expansion is going to be placed here. 3q times 6p, that will give me 18pq. 3q times 4q will give me 12q squared. And then minus 4p times 6p, I will get minus 24p squared. And lastly, minus 4p times plus 4q, I will get minus 16pq. Okay, so then I will now proceed with simplifying. I still need to expand this negative half inside. Okay, I will have 20p squared plus 7pq minus 6q squared. Okay, so these brackets I can actually already remove it, right? Doesn't have much effect because outside there's nothing, right? Then minus half, I will expand it inside. Okay, you can do an expansion inside now, or you want to simplify this 18pq with this minus 16pq. That is also fine. That is actually my preference because I like things to be slightly shorter a bit first. So 18pq minus 16pq, I will get 2pq. And then the q square and the p square, I can't combine them. So I'll get this. Then now I will times the half inside by doing my rainbow method. So half times 2 becomes 1. So I'll get minus pq. By the way, take note there's a minus sign outside here. So minus half times plus 12q square, I will get minus 6q square. And minus half again with minus 24, I will get plus 12p square. Then we can rearrange, or if you're fast enough, you can actually directly simplify it already. But I'll just do the rearranging in case some of you require that. Okay, and I don't have much space, so let me write it here. Okay, final answer will actually be equals to 32p squared. Okay, plus 7pq minus pq will give me plus 6pq. And then finally minus 12q squared. Okay, so this will be the answer for question 10. Right. Right, so now let us take a look at exercise 6c, where we want to learn how to expand, okay, certain expressions using the special identities. So on the top right hand corner over here, I have the special identities given already. Okay, so it will appear on all the questions that I'm going to run through. All right, so that you can have easier reference. Okay, I do notice that some of you still are not using these special identities. All right, I would prefer if you really pick it up, okay, and learn to apply these special identities. Reason is because the steps are definitely slightly shorter, and we will be using it at a very high frequency when you go up to set 3 and eventually set 4. Okay, so you really got to go and memorize it. Okay, and memorizing it, there's no point in memorizing it if you are not going to be applying it. Okay, so practice really helps a lot in memorizing. Okay, so to expand this c plus 5d bracket square, right? Okay, you need to be able to recognize that which identity we're going to be using. So because we have the plus in between here, and it seems to match up with this one, it's in a similar form. Okay, we will be using this identity here. Okay, so how do we go about using it? So I need to be able to compare. So the C given in the question matches up with my A, and the 5D given in the question matches up with the B. So if I were to write out the identity tells me that it will be A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. So by replacing accordingly, okay, the A will be replaced by a C, and then after that, B will be replaced by a 5D. Okay, I hope you also observe that there are brackets around. Okay, when I do this substitution, you may want to put in brackets over here, but it doesn't really quite make a difference because after all, with or without the brackets, it means the same thing. But okay, it is important when we have things like this over here because we usually don't write 2C5D, right? Okay, likewise for this one over here, okay, there is a difference when we write 5D square, okay, and 5D brackets square. They don't mean the same thing. So 5D square actually means 5 times D times D because the square only belongs to the D, whereas bracket 5D square actually refers to 5D times 5D. Alright, so you notice that the difference is that there is this extra 5. Okay, there are two 5s over here and there's only one 5. So they're actually not equal. Alright, so I will erase this, continue with my working. Alright, so getting back to the question, okay, so C square remains the same. And then 2 times C times 5 times D, 2 times 5 gives me 10. So I will have 10CD. And then 5D bracket square will give me 25D square. Okay, and this is how we can get the answer by using our special identities. Alright, so please do take that out. Next, in question 2b, we have 4b minus 3 bracket square. So we see that because there is a minus over here, okay, which identity do you think we will be using? Okay, I hope that you are able to identify. We should be using this one. Alright, so a minus b bracket square. The brackets are outside the things that is involved. Okay, so with the given question, 4b minus 3 bracket square, okay, comparing it to the identity a minus b bracket square, we see that 4b is the a and 3 is the b. Okay, so what we need to do is that using our identity, we have a square minus 2ab plus b square. By the way, you only need to write down the things in blue in your answers, okay, for the exam and all that. But as practice, you may want to just write the things in red that I'm writing in red with a pencil. So a square is actually 4b, so we'll have bracket 4b square minus 2 bracket 4b, and then b is actually 3. Alright, take note that b is 3, it is not minus 3, okay, because I do notice that in some of the answers. Alright, we have already taken account the minus sign by taking the fact that this is a minus 2ab. Okay, so you can just drop away with the minus. Alright, just take the b to be 3, then plus 3 square. Alright, then we will have 16b square minus away 2 times 4 times 3, that will give us 24b, and then 3 square is 9. Okay, so answer will be 16b square minus 24b plus 9. Right, I do notice that in some of your working, okay, you 3 square already give me 9, then you still write down 9 square. Okay, that isn't going to be correct. Okay, because 9 square is 81. Alright, 3 square is actually the value of 9. Alright, so it should just be simply 9 only. Okay, so please understand the idea of equivalence. Alright, let's now take a look at question 3b, where we want to expand this 6b plus 1 and then 6b minus 1. I hope that you see that there's this pattern going on over here where we have 6b and 1 and then 6b and 1 over here. The only difference between the two brackets is that this is a plus, this is a minus. So the identity that we will be using should be a minus b times a plus b equals to a square minus b square. Okay, so to actually apply it, we have 6b, 6b plus 1 and 6b minus 1. To draw that comparison to the identity, we have a plus b, a minus b. So the a actually is my 6b and my b is actually 1. So it matches up very nicely. Okay, there is no contradiction over here. Alright, so the expansion tells me that it will be a squared minus b squared. So therefore, the answer will be 6b brackets square minus the wave 1. You may want to put brackets. It's fine over here because it doesn't quite make a difference, right? So 6b bracket square will give me 36b square minus 1 square is 1. Alright, so the answer will just simply be 36b square minus 1. So I hope you see that the usefulness of using these special identities. It really reduces the redundancy of using the rainbow method over here because it is just applying this formula itself and reduces the amount of steps that we have. Okay, now let us take a look at question 3c. I want you to be able to take a look at this question and be able to identify which is the identity that we should be using. And then also for the identity that we have, what is the A and what is the B? Okay, so are you able to identify which identity it is? Alright, I hope that you see that it is supposed to be the third one. Okay, and the A should actually be the 7 and the B should be the 2C. It doesn't matter that this one comes with plus first then minus, whereas what I wrote here is a minus first then plus. Okay, because it is just like if I see this as 2 and this is 3, 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2, right? So it doesn't quite make any difference over here. Okay, we just need to be able to recognize A and B correctly. Okay, moving on. So we have 7 plus 2C and 7 minus 2C. Okay, so what we will get is that we will have A to be my 7, so 7 squared, minus away B is 2C, so bracket 2C squared. So finally answer will be 49 minus 2 squared is 4C squared. Alright. Okay, looking at 7a now, alright, I noticed that many of you can't seem to do the question when it comes to fraction. Don't be fearful of fractions. Fraction is no different from any other number. Okay, so likewise, the process is always to understand which is the identity to use and then what is the A and B to recognize. Okay, so the identity to use should be the first one, because there's a plus here and there's a plus here. And then after that, the A should actually be 2 and the B is half x. Okay, so using the formula itself, when I want to do the expansion, it will be A squared, which is 2 squared, plus 2A, which is 2, B is half x, plus B is also half x again, square. Alright, so we will have 4, okay, 2 times 2 times half, that will give me 2x, plus half square, you can press that into a calculator, it will give you 1/4 x square. Alright, when you press into a calculator, right, you need to put brackets around the half itself. Okay, otherwise if you were to put 1 square over 2, that doesn't make the same, that isn't the same thing. 1 square over 2 is actually just half. Alright, so be careful about how you key into your calculator. Okay, and that will be the answer. Moving on to question 8a, we want to expand 4 minus half x squared. So which is the identity that we should be using? We should be using the second one. Okay, because there's a minus sign here, right? And the square is outside the brackets, right? So the A is actually 4, and then half x is actually the B. So therefore, applying the formula, 4 minus half x squared, I will get 4 squared minus 2, A is 4, B is half x, plus B squared, B is half x again, and then square. So 4 square, you can press in calculator if you need to. So that's 16 minus 2 times 4 times half, that will give us 4x, plus again we have half x squared. Just now we already learned that it is 1/4 x squared. Now for question 9a, we have 8 plus half x and 8 minus half x, which is the identity that we should be using. And then what is the a and b? Okay, we should be using this one over here. Alright, and the a is actually 8 and the b is half x. Okay, so to solve this question, we will have a squared, which is 8, so 8 squared, and b minus away b squared, so b is half x. Alright, so then 8 squared is 64. Half x bracket square will be 1/4 x squared. And this will be the answer. Lastly, let us take a look at question 10a, where I want to expand this slightly complicated question. Okay, so to answer this, right, I see that some of you actually go about doing the rainbow method. You will find that their method itself produces many redundant steps or very lengthy working itself. And the worst is that some of you have very careless kind of calculations, such that your answer ends up being incorrect. Okay, so how do we go about using the identities here? Okay, so I want you to notice that this x plus 3 bracket square here, we can be using this very first one, a plus b bracket square, to help us to expand. And then after that, this x plus 4 and x minus 4, we will be using this third one over here. So to go about expanding this question with 4 bracket x plus 3 square plus 3x plus 4 x minus 4. Okay, I will have 4. This x plus 3 square, right? Maybe let me just color code it with red here. So this one, my a is actually x and 3 is actually the b. So I must have brackets. Okay, a square is x square plus 2, a is x, b is 3 plus b square, so 3 square. Okay, so I have these brackets to match that up. Right, then after that, for the plus 3 followed by x plus 4 x minus 4, right, which is this section here, I will have brackets because it's supposed to be 3 multiplying with it. Okay, so x plus 4 x minus 4, the x is the a and the 4 is the b. So I will have a square, which is x square, minus away 4 square. Okay, so this actually helps us to simplify our process, okay, easily. So let's simplify what we have in the brackets. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 3 bracket x squared minus away 16. Then now we do our rainbow method. Okay, this is only stage where we have to do our rainbow. So we have 4x squared plus 24x plus 36 plus 3x squared minus away 48. Then you may want to rearrange the terms before you simplify it. And so the answer will be 4x squared plus 3x squared, that's giving us 7x squared plus 24x minus 12. Right, so we got the answer over here.